Hello and welcome to the Hopkins Experience. My name is Hopkins Malova. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber or returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. On this video, I'm going to talk about Ida Odinga, and I'm going to hold a very unpopular opinion about her role in ODM. As we all know, Raila Odinga passed away last week, and he has already been buried in Bondo. May his soul keep resting in peace. As we are already moving on. That's life already. When you die, there's nothing that stops you. You die, but the world keep moving on. So in this video, I want to give a very unpopular opinion that Ida Odinga is the one with the right skills, the right mindset, and the right position to take over ODM, at least for now. It is also very clear that ODM is in shambles. ODM, since the demise of Raila Odinga, ODM is in a very divided place. There's so much division that in ODM that are threatening the very existence of the one of the longest serving parties in recent Kenyan history, because ODM has been here for 20 years. As the search for the next leader or the next party leader for ODM is going on, the party appointed the brother to Raila Odinga to be whose name is Oburu Odinga, to be the acting party leader of ODM, which sends some signal, sends mixed reaction, whether he's capable of steering the party and filling in the gap that was left by his younger brother Raila Odinga. The infighting that are coming in is over leadership and the direction of the party. If I can look keenly, there are around approximately 3 factions in ODM. There is one faction that is in government, that is completely in government, that is in bed with the UDA, and that include Mbadi, Opio and I, Hassan Joe, Gladys Wanga, and the minority leader in the National Assembly, whose name has gone has disappeared from my head, Junet Mohammed. So that is one faction. Now the other one represents this, like the pioneers, the old guys, the people who are in who are the same age as Raila and the same experience as Raila, and those include Anyang' Nyong'o, Siaya Governor James Orengo, goes to Oparanya-ish, and Osoti, those who have been in ODM for quite some time. And then there is the third group that includes Sifuna, Babu Owino, and Caleb Hamisi. So these 3 factions are all coming in to fight for the leadership of the party. And one wrong thing that one mistake that Raila did, he did not leave behind a succession plan. He did not leave behind a way to find another leader, because in all these 20 years, it's only Raila Odinga who has been the leader of ODM. So with this division, with these different parties in ODM, they are going to be wrangles, and the involvement of the government and the involvement of the president Ruto into the affairs of ODM, because he seems to be knee deep into the affairs of ODM. So his involvement into it brings a very complicated situation, and the lack of leadership and stability in ODM is likely to destabilize, is likely to make the party disappear completely from the Kenyan political scene. Because as we know, political parties in Kenya don't really survive that long. It's a miracle that ODM has come this long, because remember, back then we've had parties like TNA, we have had parties like URP, parties like PNU, ODM Kenya, such kind of parties. They have been there in the past, but the lack of steady leadership is one of the things that end up hurting this party. And these factions in ODM are going to wreck the party. I know Mama Ida is still grieving, and it's inappropriate for her to get into politics right now. But the situation that ODM is in calls for her to grieve while steering the party. Or if she doesn't do that, there's a likelihood the loss of her husband, Raila, will be also the loss of ODM. And I think if ODM are not considering this, or if nobody else in ODM is not considering this, they have to look deeply. And I'm sure inside those circles, there is somebody who is thinking about it, thinking about Ida taking over the mantle in the meantime. If you see the role Raila played in ODM, it was very big. The ability to balance these differing opinions and contributions from all the parties that come in. But at the end of it all, it's Raila who makes the final decision over the direction of the party. And Ida is well placed to take that role at least up to 2027. Nobody else should be the leader, because the influence of Ruto is not one to be played with. And if you take somebody new into the leadership position, be it Sifuna, be it Anyang' Nyong'o, be it Wanga, the influence of money that Ruto has is one that can easily take that party down. And Ruto has a mission to make sure ODM does not remain together. Or if it remains together, it comes to his side. Therefore, Ida should come in and fill in those shoes. Why? She commands that respect. The fact that she's the wife to the late Raila, it means she has that respect in the party. Even in the past, we have had stories that if you want an ODM ticket, you have to go through Ida Odinga. She has been playing a very quiet role in ODM. Now it's time for her to get out strongly and make sure the ship is steady, at least steady up to 2027. Because any attempt, any issue, any attempt to get a new leader right now will not make sense. It will only draw division. So after 2027, when elections have been conducted, and there is a clear picture on how ODM is performing in the country, that's when the right time to get a new leader away from Ida. At the same time, we know Kenyan politics, these parties are personal properties. That's why when Raila died, the person who stepped in was Oburu Odinga as the acting party leader. And it was so quick because I don't know why it was so quick to why the party was so quick to appoint Oburu, but it was also a statement that ODM is a family affair. Therefore, in that whole family, the person with the right mind, with the right instrument and temperament to lead the largest democratic party is definitely Ida. After all the dust has settled, after everything, she needs to come out strong and take the party as a family property, because, as I've said, political parties in Kenya are personal properties. They belong to a family. Even that's why you can see people affronting the likes of her daughter to Ida and Raila, Winnie, to also take charge of the party. They're also affronting Raila Jr. to take over the mantle. So before stability gets in, before there is a very good plan to find a leader, let there be Ida to steer the party through this rocky situation. And it would be that having Ida as the leader of the party, it will mean that Ruto will have a difficult time to persuade her. He'll have a different time because Ruto will not approach Ida with that strong arm that she always does. The coercion he always uses, the money he always uses, he will approach Ida with some respect, as opposed to any other leader. Let's say if Sifuna takes the party leadership, Ruto can easily move in with his money and divide the party, because Sifuna is from a different faction. If let's say Wanga or Mbadi takes over the party, then when the party is taken over by Wanga and Mbadi, they're already in government, so it will be easy for Ruto to walk in and do whatever he wants. If you take it to Orengo and Anyang' Nyong'o, the age is catching up with them. Yeah, so it leaves ODM in a very awkward position, and that awkward position needs somebody who knows how Raila operates or operated. Somebody who can offer similar advices, who can offer similar strength to the party as the party steers into 2027. Because so many decisions are going to be made, and the party would need that strong arm. We need that decisive person to steer it. So, to conclude this video, it is my submission that the search for an ODM leader should not be that difficult. Find somebody who acts, works, and makes decisions as the late Raila Odinga, and that person is Ida Odinga. That is my opinion. It's very unpopular opinion, but I believe it's the best decision for the party right now, if the party wants to survive. If you have similar opinions, share them in the comment sections. If you have different opinions, I'd like to hear, because it's something interesting that we're going to watch over the next years and months, to see how will ODM handle the loss of Raila. And with that, I want to end it there. If you have watched up to this point, it would be nice if you subscribe, like, and share this content to your friends. And see you in the next video.